As the sun sets on September 11th toward twilight, Wiglaf and Griff once again find themselves on the edge of the woods, just on the outside of the wooden palisade that surrounds the hill fort town of Duskmoor. They need to get back inside, but Wiglaf is able to see at a glance that the place that he and Griff managed to get through into Duskmoor before is patched up. It has been fixed, and it is no longer possible to get in there. Therefore, Wiglaf and Griff are going to need to find another way into the delve. Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is Ironsworn, Antarctica. It's our 18th session, I believe. And in the last session, Wiglaf, I made a couple of mistakes. Wiglaf started out trying to do a sojourn in his mother's house, and we got a miss. And this led to Mila knocking on the door and letting Wiglaf know that Leo is not only unable to speak, but because his tongue is basically pinned to his roof of his mouth by some sort of a curse, he can't eat, he can't drink, he's dehydrated, and he's starving, and he's going to die if Wiglaf doesn't find a way to save him. And Wiglaf's mother said, look, this is a fetish doll, and you have to go get the doll and bring it back to me so that I can remove the curse. And you also got to take the pin out of the doll's mouth, because that's why he can't swallow and talk. So one of the mistakes I made was I said Wiglaf was going to swear an iron vow, but then I didn't actually do the iron vow move. So that's for this vow, this dangerous vow. I am not going to go back and roll it now, because if we get a miss, then that means the whole thing was much more complicated, and we already had enough other misses, and we're on the quest now, so I'm not going to redo it. Somebody remind me, myself, to do that move before we actually. I get caught up in writing up the vow and setting up the track, and I forget to actually. And what I intend to do is go back and roll the move, and then I forget. So I do apologize for that. So that's one mistake. We then did a face danger where we were just doing a quick one hex travel to Duskmoor, so I wasn't going to undertake a journey, and yeah, we failed that, and we got caught in a trap by cultists. We fought them. We struggled. I screwed up again. There was another mistake. When I got the first strong hit on a strike, I should have done 6 progress instead of 4, because we do one harm, which is 2 progress against a dangerous foe for the hit. We do 1 harm for the spear, and then you do +1 harm for a strong hit. So we should have done 3 harm, but I only did 2. I only did 4 progress. In the end, it probably didn't matter. We then got a series of weak hits and misses until finally our companion Endure Harm of Griff was a strong hit, which gave us the initiative to end the fight. We then tried to search the cultists but got a miss, so we were delayed. We made camp, and now we have arrived at Duskmoor, but it took longer than we hoped, and because we got a weak hit rather than a strong hit, that entrance that we had used down by the large hall was patched. So there's an east gate at the top of the map, there's a west gate at the bottom of the map. There was this hole on the side here, but that hole is patched. So I think what Wiglaf is going to do is he's going to sneak around all the way around to the opposite side from where he went in the last time. At some point we will meet up with the Temple of Death, but we are on sort of the other side of the town now. And so what I'm going to try to do, if it'll let me, is move all of this over. And Wiglaf is on this side. And what Wiglaf is going to try to do is take a grappling hook, hook it over the side, and climb in. And I think this is going to be securing an advantage. Right? So he's trying to gain leverage, make preparations, whatever. So we're doing shadow. We're trying to be tricky, which isn't great, but we do have some momentum. And he's going to try to sneak at night after the sun has gone down completely and we're back into the darker twilight. He's going to try to sneak. And we better make sure we do all of our sneaky stuff soon, because pretty soon there won't be any dark for months, for a couple months. So he's going to, well, he's using his grappling hook. Is it shadow or is it agility? I mean, I think it's kind of both. I'm going to go with, we don't want to be discovered, but we also want to make it over the wall. And he's not going to be able to bring Griff in if he does this. So he's going to leave Griff outside, which Griff doesn't like, but I think we have no choice because he can't get Griff over the wall with a grappling hook. And we're going to, I guess, roll Shadow. Roll 6 plus 2 is 8, but it's against a 9 and a 10. So I don't even think he gets over the wall. He throws his grappling hook up. It makes a loud thunk. He hears some shouts. And the gate on the bottom here opens. And people start running around. And now we're into some trouble. So that's another miss. And by the way, if we look at our progress track, because I checked from last time, we didn't quite get enough to fill this box. So at some point, we'll be able to roll experience, but I'm not going to roll experience in the middle of a delve. So what are we going to do here? We're going to try to get away. So Wiglaf is going to run off into the woods, I guess, and see if he can avoid them. So he's going to run off quickly with Griff. Come on, Griff, let's get out of here. And they're going to run off into the woods. It's dark, and see if they can just avoid these guys. So he runs off into the trees and tries to throw them off his trail. And we're going to roll plus edge because we're trying to get away from them quickly. So we get a 2. Plus 3 is 5 against an 8 and a 2. Weak hit. So, yeah, this obviously delays us. And I guess we're going to, unfortunately, lose some more momentum. We go down to a 6. So that didn't work. So Wiglaf can't go over the wall that way. So we're going to need to find another way to get into this hill fort. So let's go around to this side. Now we're kind of getting closer to the east gate. And Wiglaf is going to try to gather information with Griff and see if he can find a way to get inside. So this is going to be at plus 3. So Wiglaf waits couple hours for the commotion to die down, and then he comes back on a different side so that, you know, he's got like 100 feet away from where he was. And you're going to see if he can make his way in from this other side, right? And so let's gather information and see if we can find another way in. So we roll a 1 plus 3 is 4 against an 8 and a 6. That's another miss. Man, we are just not having any luck with these dice. So let's pay the price. So I don't know what the price is going to be here, so let's just roll it. 41. The situation worsens. Well, let's see. Let's roll action and theme and see how it worsens. My guess. Well, let's ask. Actually, let's ask the Oracle. Does this mean that they were waiting for him and Wiglaf is going to get caught by some warriors? I think it's likely. 43. Yes. So Wiglaf tries to come back out of the woods and immediately is surrounded by soldiers, by warriors. I think that's, so let's look at their warriors and raiders. I think warriors makes the most sense, right? So so he's caught by some warriors, and let's see how many there are. So let's go back to the Oracle. I'm going to say, are there more than one? Almost certain. 04. Well, actually, he's only caught by one guy. So actually, I think, let's retcon this a little bit. It's not warriors. He is caught by a hunter, right? These hunters are also guys from here. The hunters are out. So this guy was out hunting, and he's bringing an animal carcass, a deer carcass, back slung over his shoulders, and Wiglaf's being kind of clumsy about this. This guy's a hunter. He's really good at setting traps and keeping to the shadow. They set traps. So maybe Wiglaf almost steps into a trap, and he says, "Griff, watch out!" But the hunter hears him, and now the hunter is going to ambush him with a deadly shot, right? So we're going to enter the fray, right? But we're going to do it with ambushing. So the hunter fires his arrow. If we miss, he's going to shoot us. So we are ambushed, so we're rolling plus wits. And we roll a 3 plus 2 is 5 against a 5 and a 2. That is a weak hit. So the arrow hits the tree right behind Wiglaf. And he says, "What? there's someone here. Griff, where is he? And Griff immediately does like the pointer dog thing, grr, and points to him. And Wiglaf says, come on, let's get him. And he takes his spear out, and he takes his shield out, and he turns to face his foe. And I think we're going to take the initiative. So Wiglaf immediately barrels through the woods, realizing we have to take this guy out quickly or the noise of the battle might be heard by the delve. And so we're now going to go into combat. And we have the initiative, and so we now go to the progress tracks, and I've erased these, so we're going to start ambushed again, ambushed by a hunter of Kova. And these guys are dangerous, but there's only one of them this time, for once. So we'll go ahead and put our dot in there, and we are ready to start. So Wiglaf and Griff run forward, and they kind of circle on either side of this hunter who has a bow. So he's going to try to back up, but Wiglaf is going to try to move in close quarters and go after him with the spear. And we're rolling plus iron. And we roll a 4 plus 3 is 7 against an 8 and a 7. Miss. So Wiglaf runs forward, Griff runs forward, but this hunter backs up and gets around the other side of a tree and leans around the other side of the tree and fires at Wiglaf. So now we're going to pay the price. So it's either harmful to him, or he's going to either shoot Griff or shoot Wiglaf, and one of them's going to have to endure harm. So let's see. I'll say 50-50. Is it Wiglaf? 16. No, he shoots Griff. So this is companion endure harm. He takes 2 harm. So he leans around the tree and fires at Griff. And Griff takes 2 harm and gets shot with the arrow. And then he has to companion endure harm. And so we're rolling plus art. This is plus 4. It's our best stat. We got a hope. We roll a 6 plus 4 is a 10 against a 6 and a 5 strong hit. So the arrow hits Griff, but it only grazes him on the leg, and Griff whines and is hurt, but not at that badly because you get plus 1. And we now have the initiative. So we're going to go back to combat, and Wiglaf then comes around from behind the tree, and he jabs at this guy with his spear. So they're now in close quarters, and he can't shoot the hunter can't shoot his bow anymore. And Wiglaf gets a 3 plus 3 is a 6 against a 6 and a 3. That is a weak hit. So we inflict our harm, but lose the initiative. So Wiglaf on the progress track does 1 harm for the spear and 1 harm for the hit. So we got 4 progress, but we lose the initiative. So now, are we going to use combat action? 50%? 42. No, we're going to use method and target. So the hunter's method is going to be 95. Brawl, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So he pulls out a dagger. 76. Brawl protection. So he pulls out a dagger. Oh, so I know. No, he doesn't pull out the dagger. He tries to grab at Wiglaf's shield and just pull it off his arm. And now Wiglaf has to fight with him to try and avoid. So you can think about that like the Captain America Winter Soldier movie where Bucky actually takes the shield off Captain America's arm. That's what this guy's trying to do. He tries to grab the shield and just wrench it off of Wiglaf's arm. And now Wiglaf, we go into combat moves. Wiglaf is going to try to avoid that. I don't think we're clashing. I think this is facing danger. So Wiglaf tries to use strength and endurance to hold onto his shield and not get it twisted off of his arm. And so we're rolling plus iron. And we get a 3 plus 3 is 6 against a 7 and a 2 weak hit. So Wiglaf keeps his shield, but I guess he has to back up and is delayed, and unfortunately we're going to lose another momentum. It's not good to lose momentum, but I think that makes sense, right? He can't get into position to attack, so he loses some momentum, and then he wasn't. I mean, technically we could roll get some bonus using the spear to keep the guy at bay, but he had already grabbed our shield, so I'm going to rule we can't use the skirmisher bonus there. Wiglaf is then going to, now that he's wrenched his shield away from this guy, he's going to surge forward and stab at him with the spear, trying to use the reach of that spear, but skirmisher doesn't help us here. And so rolling plus iron, we roll a 4 plus 3 is 7 against a 4 and a 6, strong hit. So we inflict our harm. So let's do that first. 1 for the spear and 1 for the hit. So we've inflicted our harm. We have done 8 harm. And if we go back to Clash, we can either take +1 momentum or increase the harm, do more harm. Let's crank it. That's a strong hit. This gives us a chance to end the fight, right? I know it's not necessary, but let's just go ahead because my rolls have been horrible. And Wiglaf then turns and, so he jabs the guy with his spear in the shoulder, and he staggers back, and then Wiglaf spins around and just brings the shield down and tries to smash him over the head, just crack his head open and finish the fight. So just got to make sure we don't roll double 10s. I roll a 9 and a 4. Strong hit on end the fight. So on a strong hit, the opponent is out. So he's basically completely out, cracks his head open, the hunter is dead. And we have finished the fight. And because we end this on a strong hit, I think it is unlikely that anybody heard this. But let's roll in the Oracle and see. We get a 29, so they did not hear anything. Okay. All right, let's once again try to get in here. So once more, Wiglaf is going to try to get into this place. And again, I think we don't want to make a frontal attack. Let's again see, can we gather information with Griff to see if we can find a way in. Maybe there's an opening on this side, or the wall is a little lower here, or something. So let's try to gather information and see. And we have +1 from our dog, so it's rolling at +3. 4 plus 3 is 7 against a 9 and a 7. It's another miss. I think there just isn't another way in. We're going to have to go in through the gate. I guess there's just no way. We have rolled miss after miss after miss on trying to get into this thing. Got to pay another price. So the current situation worsens. I mean, I think the price here is there is literally no way into this place. Over the wall, through the wall, we have to go in through a gate. We're going to have to make a frontal attack. So Wiglaf is going to have to do another battle here. So he brings Griff around. They've gone all the way around now, and he realizes we have no choice. We have to go in through one of the gates, and it's guarded. We've already defined by 2 warriors. So we're going to have to get into another battle, and this will be a formidable battle. So Wiglaf finally, I guess he has no choice, right? We have no choice. So we have another battle at the East Gate, which I didn't delete from last time, which is going to be formidable. And I guess whether or not we get heard will depend on the outcome of the battle. So Wiglaf is going to he's going to move into position slowly and try to strike without warning. He and Griff just one against each of the soldiers and try to do it quickly and strike without warning, which unfortunately is plus shadow. But we have no choice but to roll with our poor stat. So they try to sneak in, Wiglaf with his spear, Griff with his biting. Griff doesn't make any barking noises. He knows they have to be quiet. And they try to just get these guys very quickly. Roll a 3 plus 2 is 5 against a 7 and a 3, weak hit. So I think we're going to take the initiative. I know momentum is great, but I think we're going to take the initiative because we got to get these guys out. So Wiglaf is going to strike immediately. He lunges forward with his spear and attempts to strike while Griff tries to bite the ankle of the other guy, and they're trying to be as quick and clean as possible so that they don't raise the alarm. We roll at +3. 5 plus 3 is 8, which you would think would be good, but I rolled an 8 and a 9, and it's a miss. So pay the price. I think they raise the alarm, and there are shouts, and Wiglaf curses. And so now what's going to happen is when we start paying the price, more guys are going to show up. And this could upgrade the fight. And guys, I hate to say it, but this could be the death of our character at this point. I don't know, but we keep rolling these misses. I think we're kind of screwed. We now do not have the initiative, and they have sounded the alarm. So I think that's what they're going to do. So now Wiglaf goes, and he is going to clash. So he is going to attack. He curses and says, curses whatever an Ironlander, grumbles a nasty oath against Angus, and again tries to jab his spear at one of the guards. And we roll a 6 plus 3 is a 9, which just barely is a strong hit against double 8s. I can't believe these dice. 2 8s against a 9. Strong hit. And we're going to inflict extra harm because these guys don't take enough harm. I know that we would like to have more momentum, but we've got to get some harm on these guys. So we do 3 harm. 1 for the hit, 1 for the spear, 1 for the +1. So that will give us 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3. That's not very good. Whatever. And we now have the initiative. So Wiglaf drives his spear into the leg of one of these guys, and he kind of crumples to the ground in pain, while the other one works to draw his sword, a short sword where they have axes, draw his axe and come at Griff. But we have the initiative now. And I think Wiglaf's going to have to attack and strike. And so he lunges forward again with his spear and tries to get the second guy while the first guy's on the ground. He tries to box the other guy in between him and Grip and stab him. And we're trying to do this quickly before the other guys get here. And his goal is going to be to kill them and then move inside and try to hide so that they can't find him and they know somebody attacked but they don't know where they are. That's what we're going to try to do. So we roll a 6 again. +3 is 9 against a 3 and a 1. Wait a minute. Before we do that, so we got a strong hit there, but we had a matched strong hit before. So we need something really good to happen from that. So it wasn't just jabbing him and getting 3 harm. What would that be? So let me pause here and think about it. All right, so I think what this means is the alarm was raised, but it's going to take a little longer to get here. So the next pay the price won't be that more guys come because we got that match the last time. We're striking fast enough. So now this was a strong hit, which means we inflict another +1 harm. And so that means we do 1 for the spear, 1 for the hit, and 1 for the strong hit. So Wiglaf gets this guy in the back while he's facing off against Griff and drives him straight to the ground. And he yanks his spear out and he turns and the other guy is starting to get up. And I hate to risk this, but I think at this point we're going to try to end the fight right now. We don't have a lot of momentum, but that doesn't work anyway and end the fight. I think we're going to try to end the fight. It's a progress move. And we're just going to hope that we get at least one of these 2 dice to roll below a 6. And we get double 10s. We've lost the fight. So I think this is very clear. What happens is, can you believe he rolled double 10s? While he's pulling his spear out, turns to the other guy, The shouting gets closer, and guys come from both outside the wall and inside the wall and surround us. And we are completely surrounded. We have lost the fight. And Wiglaf puts his hands up, drops his spear. Griff kind of cowers to the ground, and the warriors and raiders around us with their axes and short swords say, "Stop where you are," and we've been captured. And now we're going to be brought to, um, I guess we're going to be brought to Kova. I think that's what makes the most sense. So they take the weapons off of Wiglaf. They muzzle Griff, who is like, he has to be fought for a bit, but they get a muzzle on him. And then the two of them are brought inside the area of Duskmoor. Man, we didn't even do anything in this delve. I could not get inside to start an area to start the delve. That's just insane with all the misses. And we still can't spend experience because we're like captured right now. And I'm not going to allow any experience expenditures, buying new assets and stuff. None of that makes sense when you're in the middle of a delve to me. And so we got to wait till we're somewhere safe before we can tally it up. But with all these misses, we almost certainly, and we got a miss on a progress move that time that counts as 2 ticks on our experience, our failure track. I was talking to somebody, and like, I haven't been able to finish this failure track. If we get this to 10, I'm starting another failure track if we keep getting misses, because I think with all the misses, we deserve that. Okay, so we lost that fight, and we're captured now. And I guess in the next session, we'll find out what happens. Is Wiglaf going to be executed? Is he going to talk his way past Kova? Is he going to be able to escape? Are there going to be other prisoners here that he can rescue or can help rescue him? Is Mila going to come and see if she can help him? I don't know. We'll find out next time. Until then, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been Ironsworn Antarctica.